些日子的災難一過去，日頭就變黑了，月亮也不放光，眾星要從天上墜落，天勢都要震動。
God's people don't know what time it is. And the first of Elul is so important because that is going to take you up to the fall feast, the time of judgment. The heavenly court is open. And here again, we have this big eclipse coming across the heavens, and God is saying, who knows what time it is? Joel 2:1, blow the shofar in Zion, sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord is coming. It's close at hand. Now, listen to Matthew 24, 31 through 34. He's going to send out his angels with a great sound of what? And when do you blow the shofar? On Rosh Hashanah, and you're going to see where else. Watch this. But first he says this. He says he's going to gather together his chosen ones from the four winds. That's important. From one end of the sky to the other. And then he says, now from the fig tree learn this parable. When its branches become tender and put forth its leaves, you know summer's near. Even so you also, when you see all these things, know that it is near, even at what? The door. It's one thing to be near in a distance. It's another thing to be near at the door. And then he says, most certainly I tell you, this generation won't pass away till everything is accomplished. Wow. Okay. So 3 things I want to point out. Number 1, when was the shofar to be sounded? Okay. First off, the new moons in particular. Every day, beginning the first of Elul to Rosh Hashanah, they blow it every day. Look at Psalm 81, 3 and 4. Blow the shofar when? At the new moon and at the full moon, referring to Passover and Sukkot in particular, on our feast days. And so God wants to give warning. It's on the new moons. It's every month. We're to be watching and aware of what's coming. Now, so here we go. Take a look at our PowerPoint. So the first day of the 6th month. Do you realize my big question is, what time is it? The first day means it's a new moon. And on Tishri 1, of course, they blow the shofar. But they blow it every new moon. So Elul 1 is a time of blowing the shofar, giving warning. And then they blow it every day because the great shofar is coming on Tishri 1. Now, going back to Matthew 24, who is the fig tree? We see a fig tree. Who's the fig tree? You're going to see Israel is the fig tree. Which is why when Israel became a nation, he gathered all the exiles from around the world back to Israel. Okay? Now, Jeremiah 24, 3 and 5, God shows Jeremiah a fig tree and he sees good and bad figs. So I'm just trying to show you that that is the fig tree, Israel is. But now, he said in Matthew, this generation won't pass away till everything is fulfilled. So the question is, how long is a generation? Some say 40, some say 50, some say 70, some say 100, some say 120. Well, guess what? This year fulfills every single one of those. And I'm going to show you how this year fulfills the 40, the 50, the 70, the 100, the 120. It doesn't matter. They're all fulfilled this year. Watch. Okay. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, how many of you know in Matthew 24, 37, we're in Matthew 24, it says, as the days of Noah, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Is that right? Okay, so Genesis 6, 3, the Lord said, my spirit will not strive with man forever because he's also flesh, yet his days will be how many years? In other words, 120 years till the flood comes. That's what they had. All right? Well, guess what? The first Zionist Congress was held by Theodore Herzl as a symbol as a symbolic parliament for those in sympathy with the independence of Zionist goals, for the implementation, Herzl had planned to hold the gathering in Munich, Germany, but due to local Jewish opposition, he transferred the gathering to Basel, Switzerland, and the Congress took place in the concert hall of the Basel Municipal Court on August 29, 1897. So I think that's fascinating. That is 120 years ago. From when the first Zionist Congress came till now. Oh, and by the way, do you know what August 29th of 1897 was? The first of Elul. I'm talking 120 years to the day. So it's like, well, the first Zionist Congress was 120 years ago. Well, guess what? 50 years ago, Jerusalem was unified. 100 years ago was the Balfour Declaration. 70 years ago was the UN partition plan. It was actually in 1947, I think in December, and then in 1948, the war took place. But let's go back to 100 years ago. Remember, it was as of the days of Noah? Remember that? We already saw a 120-year connection. Well, get a load of this. The declaration was contained in a letter dated November 2nd, 1917. This is the Balfour Declaration from the United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to Lord Walter Rothschild as the leader of the British Jewish community. Basically, they were saying we need to have Palestine for the Jews. Okay? Well, guess what? November 2nd, 1917, when you tied the biblical calendar, was the 17th of Heshvan, which is the day Noah's flood began. You go and look at Genesis. I have right here, Genesis 7:11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, on the 17th day of the month. That is the 17th of Heshvan. That's the day Noah's flood came. So now we have not only the 120 years tied to a little one, referring to Noah, we also have the 100 years referring, and it's happening, the Balfour Declaration, on the same day of the flood. Okay, and then of course, what do we have? 1948, it was as a nation, but you'll notice it was in 1947, September 3rd is when it was, is when UN 181 came into being. So we have the 120, we have the 100, we have the 70, which is very significant. And of course, we have the 50. This is when Jerusalem was recaptured. And in case you also didn't know, the Reformation took place exactly 500 years ago with Martin Luther as well. Okay, now, so here we are, coming up September 2017. Now, what is fascinating to me is here we have September 23rd. Okay, September 21st is Rosh Hashanah. September 22nd is the second day of Rosh Hashanah. September 23rd is when we have the woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and she's crowned with 12 stars. Okay, that happens on a Shabbat. And the Torah portion is Ha'azinu, which is the Song of Moses that talks about in Revelation. Okay, now, in Revelation 12, it says there was a great sign seen in heaven. There was a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was with a child. She cried out in pain, laboring to give birth. She brought forth a man-child to rule all nations. Okay, and then the man-child was caught up to God and to his throne. All right, everything is always tied back to the Torah. Where do we read about a man-child being born in the Torah? Leviticus 12. Revelation 12, Leviticus 12. It talks about if a woman gives birth to a boy, she has 40 days. If it's to a girl, she has 80 days. But I want to point something out. Notice this. In Leviticus 12 is where it says, speak to the children of Israel. If a woman be delivered and bear a man-child, she's unclean how many days? 7 days. As in the days of her impurity, of her sickness, she shall be unclean. But then what happens? Of course, the 8th day, the boy is circumcised. But she continues the purification process now for 33 days. All right? And she's not to come into the sanctuary until it is done. Okay. Well, if you look at September 23rd, think that's when the woman who is giving birth in the heavens, as in Revelation, she's unclean how many days? 7 days, which takes her to Yom Kippur. Then the 33 days of purification goes, and then she's presented to the Lord, just like Simeon and Anna. It was on the 40th day when Yeshua was born. They present the little baby in the temple. Well, guess what happens 33 days from there, from Yom Kippur? 33 days later takes you to the same day as the Balfour Declaration, when Israel should be born, November 2nd. Now, I'm already 7 minutes over. Can I have 1 minute? 1 more minute. Okay. 2001. In 2001, this is when the UN was, every year they have their International Peace Day. Okay? It was always like to be the second Tuesday of the month. But in 2001, because of 9/11, 9/11 was supposed to be International Peace Day. But because 9/11 happened, they postponed it to September 21st. And of course, they don't ever want to have UN Peace Day fall on 9/11 again, so they switched it to September 21st. From now on, it's always going to be on September 21st, taking effect in 2002. Okay, so again, it's the 21st of September this year. It's to be observed around the whole world, and the General Assembly declared this is the day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace with and among all nations and people. So here we have September 21st as this year, as in every year for the last 16 years. But it so happens, even though it is every year on September 21st, for the first time in 16 years, that's Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, they should be blowing a shofar. But they're declaring International Peace Day. Now, they have a theme every year for International Peace Day. 2014, it was the right of people to peace. 2015, Partnership for Peace, Dignity for All. 2016, Sustainable Development Goals, Building Blocks for Peace. The theme for 2017 is Peace and Safety. On Rosh Hashanah. 1 Thessalonians 5, 1 through 4. Concerning the time and seasons, you have no need I write anything to you, for yourselves know well the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night, and when they are saying peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes like birth pains on a pregnant woman, which is the Revelation 12 sign in the sky. But it says, you, brethren, are not in darkness, that they will overtake you as a thief, because you are tied to the biblical calendar. So thank you.
天上現出大異象來，有一個婦人身披日頭，腳踏月亮，頭戴12星的冠冕。她懷了孕，在生產的艱難中，疼痛呼叫。天上又現出異象來，有一條大紅龍，七頭十角，七頭上帶着7個冠冕。他的尾巴拖拉着天上星辰的1/3，摔在地上。
呢個係一個超級奇妙嘅天文現象，從2016年11月20號開始佈局，等到2017年嘅9月23日，整段經文所形容嘅完整情景就會完全巧妙咁樣整體咁樣出現喺天空之中。雖然整幅圖畫嘅呈現到時只會得幾個鐘頭，但係從天體學以至聖經研究嘅角度嚟睇，絕對係巧妙得驚天動地。因為喺過往嘅人類歷史之中，咁樣嘅天文現象係從來都冇發生過嘅。科學家亦都相信以後亦都好難會再發生。根據天體學家嘅精密計算，從2016年嘅11月20號開始，象徵住大君王耶穌嘅木星會進入處女座星群嘅母腹之中，木星會停留喺嗰度，不斷向後逆行接近10個月，啱啱好就係一段婦女懷孕嘅妊娠期。木星會一直停留喺處女座星群嘅母腹之中，直到2017年9月23日。到時月亮啱啱好會出現喺處女座星群嘅腳下，而太陽就啱啱好會準確咁樣出現喺處女座星群嘅身上。到時呢幅圖畫就應驗咗啟示錄嘅12章1至2節，天上現出大異象來。喺2017年嘅9月，木星會從處女座嘅兩腿中間誕生出嚟，睇起嚟就好似係婦人生育嬰孩一樣。2017年9月23日，啱啱好就係猶太新年吹角節嘅翌日。與此同時，喺處女座嘅頭頂上會出現12顆星星。除咗獅子座嘅9顆星星之外，仲包括並排而列嘅水星、金星同埋火星。處女座頭上嘅星體加上嚟啱啱好係12粒，咁樣唔係就係應驗咗啟示錄12章1至2節預言嘅景象咩？有一個婦人身披日頭，腳踏月亮，頭戴12星的冠冕。他們必驚惶悲痛，愁苦必將他們抓住，他們疼痛，好像產難的婦人一樣。彼此驚奇相看，臉如火焰。耶和華的日子臨到，必有殘忍、憤恨、烈怒，使這地荒涼，從其中除滅罪人。天上的眾星群獸都不發光，日頭一出就變黑暗，月亮也不放光。我必因邪惡刑罰世界，因罪孽刑罰惡人，使驕傲人的狂妄止息，制服強暴人的狂妄。 我萬軍之耶和華在憤恨中發烈怒的日子，必使天震動，使地搖撼，離其本位。我哋見到先知以賽亞形容上帝審判巴比倫嘅日子，將會好似產難發生喺懷孕嘅婦人咁樣，而且會驚奇懼怕到面紅像火焰。
人正說平安穩妥的時候，災禍忽然臨到他們，如同產難臨到懷胎的婦人一樣，他們絕不能逃脫。
你們且訪問看看，男人有產難嗎？我怎麼看見人人用手叉腰，像產難的婦人，連面都變青了呢？哀哉，那日為大，無日可比。這是雅各遭難的時候，但他必被救出來。啟示錄12章形容嘅婦人產難，對照耶利米書30章，被形容為雅各遭難的時候。有聖經學者認為呢個係7年苦難嘅起頭，亦都有學者認為雅各當年經歷咗20年逃亡到拉班打工嘅日子。到底喺2017年呢個巨大天文現象發生之後，仲有幾多苦難嘅日子？我哋唔知道，因為耶穌話佢會將大苦難嘅日子減少。但係最重要嘅係，耶穌唔想我哋喺大苦難嘅日子仍然留喺世上。啟示錄12章5至6節，婦人生了一個男孩子，是將來要用鐵杖轄管萬國的。他的孩子被提到神寶座那裏去了。婦人就逃到曠野，在那裏有神給他預備的地方，使他被養活1260天。正如帖前4章17節，他要把我們提到雲中，與他相遇，然後永遠和他同住。